That was you. We talked over the first time she said it.
That's the only one I heard. What do I do?
We talked over the first one.
Do we start over?
This is how it starts now.
Holy shit.
It's good. It's perfect. Do you want to start over?
No, it's fine.
We can if you want.
Nope.
Okay. Well, now we should, though, because the table moved.
Oh, shit. Did I move it?
No, it just moves.
This is all like part
a
poltergeist. Like a poltergeist moves it.
Yeah, the table is alive. We used to talk to it for a couple episodes, but there wasn't really... It didn't have much of a personality, so we kind of just don't address it much now. But anyway, the show started, so you go ahead and do your thing.
This is Joe on Metaphiles, the podcast that talks to you. This is Jay and Zach.
And this is Joe on Metaphiles, the podcast that talks to you. And this is Jay and Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jay.
I think we messed that up.
You know, I was really serious when I did that. I was like stone cold business.
It was very
President
professional.
business. It was.
Yeah. Again, do you want to do it again?
No.
Okay.
No.
Should I do it again?
No.
I prefer real life.
Okay.
We're not doing anything again. No one's doing anything again.
I might want to do some stuff again.
Which stuff?
Well, just like if something really funny happens, I might want to do it again.
That's the number one rule of jokes is...
I don't know how to do it again. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the split science project with the atoms where when you look at them, they do something different. So
it's like that, and I know exactly what you're talking about when you said that.
Yeah, everybody knows about that.
Telling a joke again is like splitting an atom.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you observe an atom, it behaves differently.
That's correct.
Yeah.
If you observe the joke the second time, it behaves differently.
Definitely.
And when I observe an atom, I behave differently if it's Adam Carolla.
We'll be right back. It's like...
And see, I might do that again.
Okay.
That would be an example of anything when it's okay to do it again, right? Right, Zach?
I get... We'll try it out.
Okay. By the way, for anybody joining us for the first time, I am actually Zach. And he's actually Jay. He really is Joe.
I'm so glad I wasn't going to have to keep up with calling you guys the wrong names.
We sometimes forget that we should not make it hard for people to enjoy the show.
You know, it's on them to enjoy the show. It's their job to enjoy the show.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Welcome to work. Shift started. Time for you to...
I need those laughs on my desk by 5.
That's right. Absolutely. And then once we have the laughs, we're going to say, do it again. Welcome to Metaphiles, Joe.
Thank you. It's an honor.
What you've just experienced is what it's like. But also what you're about to experience is also what it's like.
It's like anything, you know?
Yeah.
It's like... What episode number is it? 90?
89.
This is 89. I'm on the 89th
You're
episode.
on the 89th episode.
That's awesome.
1989 was the year of my birth.
Really?
Officially, I'm revealing it for the first time on the show.
Is that true?
I'm not 25 years
truth?
old. I was alive for the last 3 days of the year 1989.
You're younger than Lisa.
I'm younger than Lisa Simpson by about 4 days because the Simpsons came on the air with about 6 days of left in 1989.
They sure have built a cult around Simpson episodes.
Let's talk about it. We're talking about the Simpsons all episode long this week. No, that's not true. Joe, our esteemed guest, chose for the topic Bigfoot. We chose it together. Nobody tells us what to do.
Is big feet plural? That's the one question I have. Like, if there's two Bigfoot, are they big feet?
A Bigfoot has 2 big feet, but if he now is joined by another, I think
In holy matrimony.
Yes,
Or she?
Huh?
Anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would consider that to be that there are Bigfoots.
Okay, fair enough.
I saw a couple Bigfoots, I would say.
Either way sounds crazy. So
I will be right back. I'm so sorry. I've just forgotten something very important.
Here we go.
this wasn't in the script, man. I didn't get cued in on this.
We're doing rewrites. It better be some kind of Bigfoot memorabilia.
I'm assuming it is.
One hopes.
You know, I almost got like a Bigfoot that was like this tall, but I was too late to get it to write them.
What happened to it?
Someone else got it.
Are you guys talking about Bigfoot?
Yeah. We were. Well,
Okay.
Bigfoot, you know, memorabilia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. I actually happen to have some.
We see that.
So, I'm going to put this right here.
Why do you have that? Did you make it?
I bought this from a curiosities shop in Kuala Lumpur.
That
That is an authentic dehydrated Bigfoot. Bigfoot's Bigfoot. That's a real one. You can see how big it is.
it's remarkable they don't have toenails.
Don't need them.
I guess why would you? You got a big foot.
Yeah. The toenail is really mostly there on the foot to make it look bigger on most feet.
That's true, I guess.
It's to ward off predators.
It sure doesn't stop things from hurting your toe when it falls on it.
It's
That's
useless
fucking
for that.
sure.
In fact, it often hurts worse.
Yeah.
It hurts more than
Yeah.
it helps.
Yeah.
So the Bigfoot, I believe, evolved to not need them.
What does Bigfoot stub his toes on? You know?
A big Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine it feels plastic or anything.
A big Lego?
Like, no, if a Bigfoot steps on like a bottle you left in the woods, it probably wouldn't feel that.
No, it would crush it beneath its mighty heel.
Yeah, how come they never find litter underneath Bigfoot tracks?
Cigarette
Yeah.
butts and
That's a
stuff
really
like that.
good point.
That might be like the way to prove that it's real or not.
I mean, imagine if somebody had placed a tin can. Let's say it's a Fanta grape soda can.
Or let's say it's a Stanley Cup.
Oh,
And it didn't crush Bigfoot, didn't even crush the Stanley Cup.
not even he. But meanwhile, he crushed a Yeti cup.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
But
Straight
if he,
from the headlines.
but if
fucking
his
hilarious.
Bigfoot came down on this grape Fanta can,
Uh-huh.
oh, it would be not only pressed flat. I think it would be demolished into atoms, not Corolla.
Yeah.
Although if Bigfoot stepped on Adam Carolla, he would be smashed into atoms as well.
That's true.
So we are talking about Bigfoot. I'd like to open with a question, and I'd like to answer the question as well.
Well, why are we here? Just go ahead, Zach.
Does each of us believe that there are or have been Bigfoots in this world and life of ours?
Wow.
That's a very handsome question.
Thank you. I like all my questions to be handsome.
I definitely believe that there are Bigfoots. Definitely.
Unequivocally, no jokes.
Yeah.
We're not joking around.
Nope. Stone cold serious.
Okay.
Whoa. I'm the opposite. I think
Stone Cold Serious Austin. Let's go ahead, Jack.
I think it Austin King James version 316. I think it was just a dude in a suit that just started the whole concept of it, and that was it.
All right, so we got one Mulder and one Scully.
Are you talking about like the
classic
the
video.
Gimli, the Patterson Gimli film?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wait, that was like in the 60s, right?
It's old.
It's like 60s or 70s.
That sounds right.
Do remember that he was walking through the woods, and and you could hear in the background, "Riders on the storm, to this life we're born." So probably about in the 60s, yeah.
So what about you?
Yes. Also, it's funny. It occurred to me how funny it is that Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Thank you for watching Metaphiles, where things occur to us how funny they are. Live on YouTube.
He's a big man. He's all muscles, and
Yeah.
he'll just pick you up and throw you down and crush your head and stuff.
That's what he does.
His name's Steve. He's a guy named Steve. Anyway,
That's true.
It's probably Steven.
probably is Steven.
Steven.
I believe that there either are or at least were Bigfoots. Absolutely, I think there were.
Oh.
And furthermore, I think there still are Bigfoots. And I think all the people who are out there debunking Bigfoot, saying the science doesn't work, saying I made a big fake foot and pushed it into mud, I think those are Bigfoots trying to keep Bigfoot on the down low.
That's it, like the devil convincing you he wasn't real.
Absolutely. I think all these Bigfoots have infiltrated,
The greatest trick that Bigfoot ever did was convince everybody that he's not real.
convinced everybody that he had small feet.
They're normal feet. Wow, so maybe we even come across Bigfoots IRL.
It is highly
know.
likely that you in your life at home have met a secret Bigfoot, which I will call Socks,
Okay. Socks.
hiding the feet.
Wow, big sock. Well, we got two Molders and one Scully here.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
And maybe by the end of the episode, you'll have seen a sock be uncovered, but then you'll be like, well, I still don't think so, and then we'll do that like 30 more times, and then you'll be like, yeah, maybe.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. So Joe, why the topic of Bigfoot? Why the passion for it?
I have a passion for all things that shouldn't be. And I think that somehow Bigfoot has become like the center point of lots of things. It's awfully odd how that evolved into
He
that.
is kind of the mascot for things that should not be. I also can't help but notice that when you came on to our show, you said you're honored to be here. I know that privately you and I have spoken that you, I would say, are passionate about coming on to the show.
Yeah.
And now I learned that you are passionate about things that should not be.
Yeah.
So we should not be.
Well, it's just, everybody else is dealing with what is. So, you might as well not waste your time with that stuff.
Yeah. We're dealing with what are.
Well, the way you could argue that is that if enough people believe it, then it'll make it snow. So why not make it a Bigfoot or
If enough people
mermaid.
believe that it will snow, it will snow.
Yeah, there's been like science experiments where they got enough people together and they made it snow when it shouldn't have.
Oh.
There's also one where they travel to violent cities and crime drops drastically.
The snowmakers do?
Yeah, the people that meditate on whatever it is they want.
Oh, we gotta get these people on the show.
There's a lot of those people, man. You're gonna need a lot more chairs,
Can they get YouTube views?
Yeah.
probably.
Can they make the algorithm bend to their will?
Probably. I don't know if they would.
Okay, if there's any snowmakers watching right now, you can come on the show as soon as you want. You
This
can
could
come
all
on
be
before
yours.
Bob Dylan. You can come on before any of the people that we have on the waiting list. You jump right to the top. If there's enough of you.
Yeah.
I had no interest in going to the Bob Dylan show, just so it's on the record.
Ooh.
I didn't even know it was happening. I have seen Bob Dylan once. It was wildly disappointing. So that is on the record as well.
Were you not able to understand what he was singing?
Yeah, I was like, how come subterranean homesick? What? What about a parking meter? Slow down, Bob. What?
Bye.
I was very,
Highway? What? Which highway, Bob?
I was very particular about what I listened on my way here, and I almost listened to OK Computer,
Oh,
but I didn't.
for podcast, for psyching yourself up.
Yeah, like, getting in the mindset.
Yeah. What did you listen to?
Dead Kennedys.
Okay. Because they remind you of Bigfoot, or
Because they remind me of people who say what they want to say.
yes, Jello
From the
Bigfoot
beginning.
Biafra.
He probably would like that. I saw him. He had a belt buckle like this fucking big, man. It's the
Oh my
biggest
God.
belt buckle I've ever seen.
What was on the belt?
Who knows, man? It was all shiny and the lights were all, you couldn't tell.
Oh.
That might be why. Maybe he wanted like laser beams shooting out of his belt buckle.
Yeah. Draw your eye right to where Jello wants your eye.
How big would Bigfoot's belt buckle be?
Tiny, right? Because it doesn't want to be seen. So, that's why he doesn't wear clothes,
Little tiny belt buckle. That's actually, I want to get a belt with the smallest belt buckle.
Smaller than the belt itself.
It's like a bottle cap, yeah. I'd love it, but
I bought a belt buckle as a child, a really little child. It was a rattlesnake.
that's cool.
It was like ceramic, really cool looking rattlesnake belt buckle.
It symbolizes your belief in personal freedoms and individuality.
Yes, absolutely. And that's when I learned that you can't just like put a belt buckle on a belt.
No, yeah, you have to get a special belt.
Yeah, and so I, to this day, have never worn that belt buckle.
You still have it?
I think I still
Right.
have
That's
it.
amazing
Wow.
that you still have it.
Oh, I've been waiting to wear it.
Wow.
All right.
So,
Talk to Jeff. He'll get you set up.
Jeff Probst?
Bezos.
Oh. Who's the first Jeff when
Yeah,
you think?
Jeff has it
When you
for you.
hear Jeff, who's the first Jeff you think of? For me, it's Probst.
MGM, man.
Jeff MGM?
Jeff Bezos owns MGM now. It's an Amazon company. I
MGM.
saw it on my Prime movie that I was watching.
I didn't know they were still around. I guess I know they still got that big old ball down in Florida. Is it in Florida?
I don't know. You're talking about the Universal
I'm thinking
Studios?
about fucking Epcot.
Oh,
That's not even a
yeah.
museum. I don't know.
No, I don't think they're connected, man. They do different kinds of world crimes.
I'm all fucked up.
There's a thing at Epcot, because Epcot's like supposed to be the whole world. So there's like little Italy, little Belgium, little something.
Yeah.
And there's a whole thing apparently where people try to get drunk in every country at Epcot
That's correct.
and see how much they can do it in a day. They'll go like, I traveled the whole world 4 times.
I think that's
Meaning you
been
drank like probably 40 beers.
Christ.
since the 90s. I think they've had that shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, for any world travelers out there, that's a little bonus information for you. Is Epcot a thing that should not be? I went once. Boring.
I don't know. I went so many times to Disney World and Epcot and shit, so it's kind of hard for me to say.
Huh.
I went a lot.
What's best ride?
And none of them, really.
What were we doing there?
I mean, I rode the
ride
rides
home,
and
that was the
stuff,
best ride.
Maybe because I'd listen to music and read books.
Yeah.
So maybe it was.
Huh. No
Well,
good.
so I'm getting it now that It was not your choice to go.
No, it was like family vacations.
Okay. For
We
some
went
reason,
every
I was imagining
summer.
you
Damn.
like just going on your own,
No, fuck no.
like 18 years old or something.
No.
You're like, yep, still sucks. Guess we'll try again next month.
No.
This is some great Joe origin story.
Yeah, I went on lots of vacations as a kid.
Ah.
To the mountains and Disney World and shit.
Okay, let's hear about those mountains, and let's hear about if you were out there in those mountains. Were you looking for Bigfoot? Did you think you ever saw him, maybe?
One time when I was very young, and I hadn't thought about this till the ride over here, me and my father were hunting, and I had to be pretty young because I would always shoot the gun in the air when my dad would try to kill something, so he quit taking me pretty quickly.
That's great.
And but one time we were walking through the woods and there was this weird ass smell. It was so weird, and my dad told me that was a skunk ape, and that we just should sit still for a little while. And we sat there for a while, and then we walked out. We didn't continue what we were doing.
I wasn't sure if this would come up in segment 1 or not. The skunk ape is Florida's version of the Bigfoot. Were you also, being a fellow Floridian, were you also on the lookout for skunk ape?
No run-ins for me.
Where were you in Florida?
Central Florida, Hernando County.
Oh,
Skunk Ape County?
Like Tampa. I was like Tampa.
Hell yeah. It wasn't Skunk Ape County.
Hernandez?
For me, it was Busch Gardens. We had year-long passes to Busch Gardens. I went to Busch Gardens like.
I lived on 96th Avenue, and Busch Gardens was like right here, and I hardly ever went to that place. So.
Where do you get drunk at Busch Gardens?
At the tour, they go on a Busch tour.
Busch tour?
Yeah.
Busch beer.
Wait, is it Busch like Busch Light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you really
like
do get
Busch
drunk.
beer. Yeah, no, all the parents get drunk, and the kids like play at Wet and Wild. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, I haven't thought about that in so long, dude. Wet and Wild.
And that, of course, must be what Duff Gardens was based on, and we are talking about The Simpsons all episode long.
Everything goes to The Simpsons, man.
I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like The Simpsons. I never liked The Simpsons.
You get enough creative people working on something for 40 years, man, they're bound to predict something. You know? It's not like it's a bunch of bankers in there, like, coming up with ideas.
Jay, you said that you didn't like The Simpsons, and then it started, like, pouring
It's
rain.
like
I'm sure that the audience can hear that sound.
There's a storm coming.
The heavens were upset with you
Yeah, whatever.
for having your opinion.
That's fine.
I don't watch The Simpsons, man.
Fuck them.
Anyway, Bigfoot. Yeah, just move on. Move past that. I wonder if Bigfoot's ever been on The Simpsons. But we won't.
I was
We're not going to
running
talk
it.
about that.
I was running that shit in my mind.
What do you have? What would he do?
There was a time where they thought Homer was a Bigfoot.
Yes, I remember that. So there you go. And we are talking about The Simpsons all episode long.
You did it.
I did it on purpose, and I don't regret one part about it except for what Jay said and the awful thing he said. The awful, terrible thing he said.
Yeah.
Which I won't even repeat.
Yeah.
So horrid.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, what would it take to convince you that skunk ape was hanging out right down the street from you your whole life?
Well, I mean, we're kind of getting into segment 3 here, or I am anyways. But I think there's something to be said about about things that should not be, is so cogently phrased by our host Joe, and the inability for them to be proven. And like, if you think about that exact question for anything, UFOs and whatever else, it's like, maybe this is just an internet age thing, but what the fuck would it take for one at this point to really be like, yep, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you reach that point because of an accumulation of certainty that, you know, if you will.
Sure.
But like, I mean, it's like the argument of faith, you know, as one raised Christian, like, faith stops being faith if it has proven. it negates what faith is and what it does from a religious viewpoint.
You know,
It's almost like this a similar dynamic, I feel like.
I can see what you're saying about that, but you know, like, faith isn't just the existence of something, it's the intention of it, the motivation of it. And so, like, you know, you could always lawyer around that part.
Dear skunk ape, who art in Hernandez County,
Hernando.
Busch Gardens be thy
I don't know.
Busch Gardens be thy favorite park. Yea, though I walk inside of your big track, which both my feet can fit in it easily, I am not afraid.
What was that alcoholic drink that was alcoholic and caffeinated? Four Loko.
Four Loko.
Thy Four Loko be done.
Yes.
That's in the Florida prayer.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Thy beef jerky be eaten. That's one of those, right?
Yes.
He eats
And
those
Jerky
on TV.
links or something.
Public subs on Earth. Amen.
Amen.
Publix is all over Earth. Amen. All right. Welcome to Leia Plays. This is the part of the podcast where I pitch a podcast idea that might be better than this podcast. Potentially. So, I think this week I'm going to go with Arthropod. Welcome to Arthropod. It's a podcast all about bugs. We're going to be discussing bugs all day. Zach, what's your favorite bug?
I like the ant with for the size of that the ant is. It has really big feet.
Big feet.
For the size of an ant, they're big.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
So you like an ant that has big feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he crawls around on you, and it's like you're getting a little massage.
What's that ant called? What is that ant? Is this an imaginary bug? Because this isn't about imaginary bugs.
Oh.
This podcast is about real bugs.
I think you were thinking about, like, a masseuse ant, maybe.
A masseuse ant?
The North Carolina masseuse ant.
Joe, what's your favorite bug?
Make sure it's a real one. He gets really mad.
Moving on, Joe.
Here in Tennessee, there's a bug that comes out every once in a while in my house, and there's a bunch of them, and they look like centipedes or millipedes. They're about that long, and they have antennas that look like pinchers, and then they have like a thing in the back that looks like a scorpion pincher doubled.
Whoa.
And they chase you. They don't fuck around. They fucking chase you. And I caught one alive in a jar about 15 years ago, and it still hasn't disintegrated. So I don't know. That's my favorite bug because I don't know what the hell kind of bug that is. I've lived in Arizona, all kinds of places. I've seen all kinds of weird-ass bugs that you wouldn't think exist, but these are mean bastards.
Well, we don't have the fact tube, but Zach, if you could just make the whole screen the fact tube and show this bug
Okay.
and what it is.
Okay.
We'll
I'll
put that
try
there.
to do it on the whole screen.
Yeah.
I could
How
take,
it works. Oh, careful.
The edge of the picture hit my shit.
Careful.
That's why we don't do it like that.
I thought it was a stroke. Yeah. I was like, great.
Can we
That's
cut
fucking
to
straight.
here on Anthropod the special celebrity guest?
Sure, let's try that.
Okay.
Arthropod, by the way.
Arthropod. I got a bug that comes into my house sometimes. My mother-in-law. I'm Adam Carolla here for Arthropod.
Oh.
Wow, great clip. Can't believe it.
Bigfoot? Yeah, it's my mother-in-law. She's been walking around the woods every... Okay, time for...
You don't say
Moving on.
yours? You don't say your favorite bug?
Roly-poly.
Oh,
Maybe an antlion.
you'd think as the host of Arthropod that you would
Do you
have-
think you could do this better? You think you could do a better job?
I mean,
Welcome to try.
I said one bug and I knew it was my
believe
favorite
this
one.
Is it like anthropology, but your name is Art?
Well, no, arthropod is like the bug version of
Oh, okay.
Saying if the host of a podcast about bugs doesn't know his own favorite bug.
It is really hard to run a podcast about bugs, and I hope everybody's seeing that right now. All right, moving on to the favorite segment of arthropod. Squish or no squish?
Yeah!
Thank you. All right, Joe, I'm just going to list off a ton of bugs in rapid fire and just say yes or no as to whether or not you would squish them or not.
And this is just for Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Ant,
No.
caterpillar,
No.
beetle,
No.
cockroach,
No.
worm,
No.
fly,
No.
wasp,
No.
bee,
No.
carpenter bee,
What was that one?
carpenter bee,
No.
roly-poly,
No.
ladybug,
No.
centipede,
No.
dragonfly.
No.
Thank you. This has been Squish or No Squish.
Listen, I know there's been some tension between you and me on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But was one of the bugs you said worm?
Yeah.
Is worm a bug?
I guess it's not an arthropod.
Is a worm a bug?
You know what? I guess I just fucked up. All right. So you
know
know
what?
what?
I don't know, man.
I
It might still be considered like an insect.
As soon as I said it, I thought, oh, maybe it is a bug. I want to apologize to you, the host.
And to the bugs?
I didn't
To the worms?
I didn't get to play, but I also would have said no to most.
So many worms watching. You're like, oh,
Which ones would you have squished?
There are 2 bugs I will squish, and it is only because they attack my dog, Little Garbage Pail. Mosquito I will squish.
Mm-hmm.
Tick I will squish.
What
Because
about spiders?
spider doesn't attack Little Garbage
They
Pail.
bite my dog.
Oh, I have not known that. Also, I would squish a flea, but they're too small.
Why? Oh, because of the dog.
Same, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any bug that comes from my family,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Easy. All right. Well, this has been Arthropod. It's been hard, but that was our first episode, and I'm going to try my best to get another episode going.
can I make a small suggestion?
What do you got?
I think for episode 2, you should know what your favorite bug is and not have it be 2 bugs.
We'll be back next week. Bye.
We'll be right back.
Well, he's got to say one more thing.
Think about it.
Now say it. Now do it. Say it. Now say it. Now say it.
You told me that shit, too. We're going to be right back. We're back. See,
Yes.
that was
That-
calm.
Yeah.
Super
That was
calm.
good.
You
So
seem-
far, so
You
good.
seemed calm.
Yeah. This is a calm podcast.
He's keeping it calm.
All right, it is segment 2. It is Bigfoot and the World. This is where we're going to learn. It's an educational podcast as well.
Our listeners depend on us for facts, factual information.
Allegedly.
It's pretty factual. You don't have to talk to Zach about that.
Well, I haven't heard it yet. I can't endorse it yet. I'm not like,
Very true.
Right now, the facts are like Bigfoot. You want to believe in them, but you're not sure you can. We'll get ready to believe in the facts.
but I already believe in Bigfoot.
No, but the facts are like Bigfoot.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, yes, they're not. The facts are something that you can believe in.
He's talking to you.
Huh? Jay, you can believe in these facts.
Blindly.
They're from the internet. I got all this from the internet. So
Well, then it's definitely...
Oh, perfect.
It's spot on, then.
the parts of the internet that... I use the parts of the internet that are true. Bigfoot...
Wikipedia.
Would you... Yeah. So, Bigfoot, as he is known in the Pacific Northwest, goes by many names in other places, which we will get to. but he is primarily a figure of American and Canadian folklore as it relates to Bigfoot specifically. All cultures through all time have had wild man figures in their culture.
Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop is a perfect example. Iggy Pop in a furry sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Now put it in ancient China. It's there. Put Iggy Pop in his furry sweater. Put him in Egypt at the time of the Sphinx.
That wasn't Bigfoot. That was Iggy Pop in a furry sweater.
In hindsight, man,
I do now want to know how big Iggy Pop's feet are. I might have to go on WikiFeet and look up.
Someone knows
Wookiee
how
feet.
big his feet are.
Somebody knows.
You can-
He does for sure.
You can type it in. How big Iggy Pop's feet are.
Do we want to?
That probably would work.
Do we want to? And I'll make sure to move my head away. Do we want a picture of Iggy Pop's feet?
Do I need to duck or anything?
Probably. They're probably pretty big. Here we go.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Here's some examples of Bigfoot throughout time. On the Tool River Indian Reservation, petroglyphs created by a tribe of Yokuts at a site called Painted Rock are alleged by Kathy Moskowitz-Strain, author of 2008 book Giants, Cannibals, Monsters, to depict a group of Bigfoots called the Family. The largest glyph is called Hairy Man. They are estimated to be 1,000 years old. According to Tulare County Board of Education in 1975, Bigfoot the Hairy Man was a creature that was like a giant, great big, long, shaggy-haired animal-type man, and was good in a way because he ate the animals that might harm people.
Bob Seger.
Yes, the Bob Seeker of Tool River. Yukut's parents warned their children not to venture near the river at night, lest they encounter the creature.
Wow.
16th century Spanish explorers and Mexican settlers told tales of the Los Vigilantes Oscuros, or Dark Watchers. Large creatures alleged to stalk the camps at night. In the region that is now Mississippi, a Jesuit priest living with the Natchez in 1721 reported stories of hairy creatures in the forest known to scream loudly and steal livestock.
Scream like that.
Members of the Lumi tell tales about creatures known as Tsemekwes, etc., etc. Blah, 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 blah.
All true.
I believe that the most.
U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, in his 1893 book, The Wilderness Hunter, writes of a story he was told by an elderly mountain man named Bowman, in which a foul-smelling bipedal creature ransacked his beaver trapping camp, stalked him, and later became hostile when it fatally broke his companion's neck.
Andy Dick.
Roosevelt notes that Baumann appeared fearful while telling the story, but attributed the trapper's German ancestry to have potentially influenced him.
Too much
It's bad.
schnitzel.
It's bad when you discredit yourself in the same sentence as you're promoting yourself.
So, Teddy Roosevelt, racist against Germans. That's a fact.
That is probably a fact.
There are other such sightings. According to LiveScience.com, there have been over 10,000 reported Bigfoot sightings in the continental United States. About 1/3 of all claims of Bigfoot sightings are located in the Pacific Northwest, with the remaining reports spread throughout the rest of North America. Most reports are considered mistakes or hoaxes, even by those researchers who claim Bigfoot exists, aka socks. Sightings predominantly occur in the northwest region of Washington State, Oregon, North Carolina, blah, 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 lots of places all over the place. In 1958, Jerry Crew, bulldozer operator for logging company in Humboldt County, California, discovered a set of large, 16-inch human-like footprints sunk deep within the mud in the Six Rivers National Forest. Upon informing his coworkers, many claimed to have seen similar tracks on previous job sites, as well as telling of odd incidents such as oil drums weighing 450 pounds having been moved without explanation. The logging company men began utilizing the term Bigfoot to describe the apparent culprit. This popularized the term Bigfoot. He is also known in Florida as the skunk ape, the grass man in Ohio,
The grass man.
the Fook monster in Arkansas,
Because he built huts. They built huts out of grass.
the wood booger in Virginia, the monster of Whitehall in Whitehall, New York, conceded.
Yeah.
Do you think they're mad that they're called the wood boogers or whatever?
I would be.
You know, like they don't even get a cool name. All the others get cool names, but whatever.
I would be very disappointed. Why can't I be called Bigfoot?
I bet they move out of West Virginia, man.
That's in regular Virginia.
Oh.
Careful. They are known as Momo in Missouri, Honey Island Swamp Monster in Louisiana, Dewey Lake Monster in Michigan.
the Honey Island swamp monster over there.
He's sweet it can be, but he a monster at the same time.
He a monster still.
But sweet as can be. The Magellan Monster in Arizona, the Big Muddy Monster in southern Illinois, and
Big
the
Muddy
Old
Monster.
Men of the Mountain in West Virginia.
Oh.
The term wood ape is also used.
In West Virginia, there's just that small of a differentiation between the normal old men in West Virginia.
Now, many people discount the existence of Bigfoot. They claim that people who believe that they saw Bigfoot, in fact, saw bears, who, while upright, if it's a black bear, can stand 7 feet tall, if it's a grizzly, as much as 9 feet. Data scientist Flo Foxon reports more sightings occur in areas with documented black bear populations, and she says, if Bigfoot is there, it may be many bears. If that is Bigfoot, that might be many bears. You saw Bigfoot? No, you saw many bears.
You can't just say all cats are dogs, man. I'm just saying.
She said if you saw Bigfoot, you saw several bears.
Well, I'm just saying you can't say that. I'm questioning her degree.
Well, other people did. And when she said, what about people, when they said, what about people who've seen a Bigfoot where there weren't many bears? She said, although this may be interpreted as evidence for the existence of an unknown hominid in North America, it is also explained by misidentification of other animals, humans, amongst other possibilities.
What is she, a politician or something?
I can tell you exactly what Flo Foxon is. Flo Foxon? Sock.
Yeah, you know what? I'm starting to get on board with the sock theory.
Thank you.
Because that was not scientific.
They also say that you thought you saw Bigfoot. No, you saw a chimpanzee, gorilla, or orangutan that escaped from a nearby zoo, circus, or exotic pet owner. That's what
They
you
do
saw.
say that. It's the swamp gas equivalent.
Yeah, you don't know what a gorilla looks like, idiot. Yes, I do. I know what a gorilla looks like. That's not what Bigfoot looks like. Sock. You sock. Sometimes Bigfoot is actually just a person. Many people have been shot by a person who thought they saw Bigfoot. Turned out they saw a guy, and they shot the guy.
I think he just owed him money, man.
Yes, I do too. One guy in 2017 was walking around. He was a shamanist, and he would walk around in the woods wearing animal furs in North Carolina. And there were many, many Bigfoot sightings when it was really just this guy. So much so that the Greenville Police Department had to issue a public notice that said, "Don't shoot Bigfoot. Don't shoot Bigfoot. It's Tom."
He's just. Wow. It's just Tom.
They must really like that guy.
I think they probably do. They may or may not.
Well, they wouldn't put one out for me.
Besides.
You know, they wouldn't be like, hey, don't shoot Joe.
Well, I mean, I think it's generally understood that we're not supposed to shoot Joe.
I don't know, man.
It's kind of pretty much in the rules. Here's some more things that aren't Bigfoot. Bigfoot proponents Grover Krantz and Jeffrey H. Bourne both believe that Bigfoot could be a relic population of the extinct southeastern ape species Gigantopithecus blacki. And they found things that are very much like a Bigfoot that were a distant ape, but very hard to find them in America. They mostly are from times before that.
Yeah, they they didn't spread out as far as other creatures did.
Yes, the Bigfoot.
But they
not
were
much of a
enormous.
traveler.
Those things were enormous.
They were what's known as a megafauna, which I now want to read a lot more about those because I looked that word up and looked at pictures and they all looked very cool. So check out some megafaunas if you want to see something that looks cool.
Close out the podcast. Go to Google.
Picture in picture.
Find something that looks cool.
In 2002, the family of Jerry Cruz, deceased coworker Ray Wallace, revealed a collection of large carved wooden feet stored in his basement, and stated that Wallace had been secretly making the footprints and was responsible for many tracks discovered by many people. Wallace was inspired by another hoaxer, Ramp Mullins, who revealed information about his hoaxes in 1982. In the 1930s in Toledo, Washington, Mullins and a group of other foresters carved pairs of large feet made of wood and used them to create footprints in the mud to scare huckleberry pickers in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. The group would also claim to be responsible for hoaxing the alleged Ape Canyon incident of 1924. Mullins and the group of foresters began referring to themselves as the St. Helens Apes and would later have a cave dedicated to them.
I bet they had back patches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they had they got their own cave.
Legacies, man. Gotta secure your legacy.
Ray Wallace and Rant Mullins, socks.
Sucks.
Not all scientists are opposed. Oh, no, here's one more that is. One more scientist that is opposed to the existence of Bigfoot, a.k.a. a sock.
Yes.
Darren Naish has his 3 why there can't be Bigfoot rules from 2016. Here's the 3 reasons why there can't be Bigfoot. Number 1.
How about 3 reasons for no taxes or something like that, man? Jesus.
Not from old Darren Naish. He says, here's number 1 reason why there can't be
You gotta
Bigfoot.
pick your battles, man.
If there was Bigfoot,
Sure.
we would have uniform reports of vocalization. We would know that this is the sound Bigfoot makes and Bigfoot doesn't make any other noises. So, okay, I can refute Darren Naish. Maybe Bigfoot is quiet.
Well, they do have a lot of vocalizations. I mean, they have a lot of them.
Maybe.
A huge database.
Or maybe Bigfoot is soft-spoken. Here's number 2 reason why there can't be Bigfoots. We would see so many big feet on the ground. There'd be so many tracks. All over the place, everywhere, all the time. How about this, Darren? Maybe Bigfoot steps softly.
Maybe he ties a bush behind him and he rakes his
Maybe
things.
ties a bush behind him. I mean, every time you put your foot down, it doesn't make a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think there's 700 million acres of forest land in the United States of America. I think that's correct. So there's a lot of places where people probably
could be.
see the footprints.
Right, there's a lot of places it could be. I don't think Darren looked everywhere. Also, there's the bush tied to your butt theory.
It's feasible.
Here's number 3 reason Darren Naish says, no, there can't be Bigfoots. He says there'd be DNA in abundance. We'd have Bigfoot DNA everywhere. Darren Naish wants Bigfoot's cum.
There'd be Bigfoot come all over.
Darren Naish thinks Bigfoot's out there jerking off, leaving it everywhere.
Where's the DNA?
And he's like, how come I can't find any? I've been looking for it.
You think he just walks around his whole life not combing?
And you're telling me that that I wouldn't be able to find it?
I refuse to be a part of this conversation.
This is your topic that you wanted to talk about.
Darren Naish, you suck. You suck. You're a sock. You suck. Stop looking for Bigfoot come in the woods.
We're losing the table. Careful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're losing the table. We're losing the guests. Let's take it back. Here's a scientist that is pro Bigfoot. Here's somebody that is not a sock and doesn't suck.
Wow.
Jane Goodall,
Oh, really?
renowned primatologist,
Yeah.
one of the greats of all ape things.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to talk to her on an episode of Podcast of the Apes sometime. That's the thing we do sometimes when we're talking about apes. Jane Goodall was interviewed in 2002 and was asked, does she think there's Bigfoot? And Jane Goodall said, well, now you'll be amazed when I tell you that I'm sure that they exist.
Wow.
That's pretty good, man. You did pretty good with that.
But she later added, well, I'm a romantic, so I want them to exist. Of course, the big criticism is, where's the body? Why is there no body? And I can't answer that. And maybe they don't exist. But I want them to.
A lot of people on your podcast tend to discredit themselves as soon as their argument is made. I'm picking that up, man.
She went from I'm positive to they probably don't. But I it took her just like that.
Yeah, hearing stuff out loud, I think, changes it in your mind.
Yeah. I'm going to sound stupid on a podcast one day. But I don't think you sound stupid, Jane. There are several organizations dedicated to Bigfoot, the oldest and largest being the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, or BFRO. The BFROs also provide a free database of individuals and other organizations and reports from across North America investigated by researchers to determine credibility, and many other similar organizations exist through many U.S. states.
They have the vocalization data bank.
The BFRO does?
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. Here's one you can add to it. Hey, Darren Nash, shut up.
Is it a sock? Darren Nash?
That's one of the socks. He's the guy who loves Bigfoot cum.
Yeah.
The North American Wood Ape Conservancy, or NAWAC, is a non-profit organization that states its mission is to ultimately have the wood ape species documented, protected, and the land they inhabit protected. Author Mike Mays of NAWAC states, if just anyone hauled in a Bigfoot carcass, the blowback from animal rights groups and beyond would be ruinous.
Ruinous, wow.
Ruinous. The NAWAC will come for your head.
That's some Shakespearean wrath, dude.
Yes.
Whoa.
And well-deserved. I like Mike Mays. He's the nicest fella of the segment. Well, Jane Goodall, too. Man, maybe Mike Mays takes it. Some organizations, as well as private researchers and enthusiasts, own and operate Bigfoot museums. And in 2019, Bigfoot researcher Cliff Barrickman, notable for his role on finding Bigfoot, opened the North American Bigfoot Center in Boring, Oregon in 2022. The Bigfoot
Boring?
Boring, Oregon. Not so boring anymore.
Wow.
Now they have a good museum. Other such museums have happened in other places. The Ohio Bigfoot Conference and other conferences and festivals dedicated to Bigfoot are attended by thousands of people. Thousands!
There's one coming up in Gatlinburg.
There's also one in Townsend, Tennessee that happens every year, and I checked to make sure it happened. It's happening this year. It's 3 hours away.
I can't talk Lisa into going. I was like, it's crazy Bigfoot people. It'll be fun.
Crazy?
Well, everyone's crazy.
Yes, no, those people will be crazy.
I bet they're fun, though.
I bet they're fun crazy. Yes, I agree. Because they, I'm sure, are like, yeah, we're really into Bigfoot. It's like, what do you want?
True.
These events commonly include guest speakers, research and lore presentations, sometimes live music.
William Shatner.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, vendors, food trucks, and other activities such as costume contests and Bigfoot howl competitions. There's ones in California. There's ones all over. There's one in Townsend, Tennessee, which is sponsored by Monster Energy.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And in 2023, a Bigfoot festival in Marion, North Carolina saw approximately 40,000 people in attendance.
See, that's a lot of people, man.
That is actually quite a few. So, Metaphiles will be hosting a Bigfoot festival on YouTube for our next episode. And everybody should attend via watching it on YouTube. It's a Bigfoot festival, we promise.
I feel like a lot of people that believe in Bigfoot and stuff, they probably can't afford to go to festivals.
Well, you don't have to. This one's free. This one's free. You don't even have to get off the couch.
Huh.
So tune in next week.
William Shatner will be there.
Yep.
We'll be right back. We're back.
We're back, and it's time to discuss why Bigfoot. We did the we did the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now in segment 3, we do the why. Why? Why can't we find him? Why are we so obsessed with him?
Why does the concept exist in the collective consciousness at all?
Right. Why do we need the Bigfoot? We need it.
Joe, thoughts, concerns?
Well, to answer why we need Bigfoot is the same reason that we need God or aliens or boogeymen, all of it. Because we need things that are outside and possibly larger than what we are.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Twinkies.
Why do we need that? Not Twinkies, but something that's outside and larger than what we are.
If we had a different topic, I would answer it a different way. But what I would say with this topic is that you need things that are larger than yourself, because humans have always sought out what is more than what they are and see, because we were programmed through DNA to always seek more, always search more.
I got a thing on that. People want to imagine this creature traipsing around, trudging around, trampling around in the woods. They really want it to be out there. They want to see that it's out there. But guess what is out there? A whole bunch of other cool animals that are doing it all right now, every day. Just go look at them, maybe.
The bear's like, hey, I'm no Bigfoot, but...
You might have thought I was. Many of me might be a Bigfoot, but look, that's all I get. And my feet aren't that big, but they have claws on them. That's cool. They can scoop out honey. That's cool.
It's true.
Typically, Bigfoots don't eat you. So,
Right.
you know, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
Is that they're not a threat.
People would like you more if you didn't eat them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's that place in Alaska, though, man, where a bunch of Bigfoots ate a whole shitload of people.
I was reading about that, and
They-
now it's a ghost town.
Yeah, they closed the shit down.
And it was because Bigfoot was eating too many people.
Too many people, man. Ripping them apart, just leaving them in places.
And they said, okay, we're not a town anymore.
You know,
Iggy Pop came in. What's up?
I need Bigfoot because of a guy in like 1912. His name was Oslov something. I should have looked it up, but I felt like that was cheating. He was in Canada, and he woke up to being dragged in his sleeping bag. And he was being dragged by the head, so there was no way to get out of the sleeping bag. He was drugged for quite a while. And then for 6 days, he claimed that he spent time with a Bigfoot. And that the Bigfoot would bring him raw, ripped up pieces of things to eat. He tried to take care of them. He didn't really go into a lot of detail. He said he pretended to be asleep most of the time, which was probably smart. But anyway,
I think I know what he's leaving out.
the reason that he got away was he realized that he could share his stuff with Bigfoot, like Bigfoot was sharing with him. And
What stuff did he have?
well, he had stuff like tobacco and cans of coffee. And so when the Bigfoot ate these things, it began to choke and freak out and spit, and he ran away. And
I remember my first cigarette Bigfoot.
he got back to civilization, and they're like, where have you been? And that's the story he told. And he could have told anything, but he told that Bigfoot ate his coffee and he ran away.
Me and Bigfoot were hanging out. We just drank coffee, and I just slept.
So, I need to know, because it's obviously true, because that's so ridiculous. That couldn't possibly be made up.
Well, one part of it is not made up, but I think him and Bigfoot fucked is what I'm hitting. I think that's the part he didn't sell us.
Wow. Uh-huh.
He was very vague
Yeah.
on the time that they spent for 6 days.
I mean,
But then he's like, how about a cup of coffee? And the Bigfoot was like, is this Folgers?
yeah. How about some coffee and a cigarette? I love to have a cigarette after doing nothing.
You know, that says a lot about the time period that out of that whole story, what he had to leave out was the romance.
Yeah. Well, this is 1912 Canada.
That's a good point.
They're not prepared for that sort of thing. Times have changed. Now, you can fuck a Bigfoot.
Do you know about
You
that?
can fuck a Bigfoot if it's your stepbrother.
Do you know about that, like, Dyatlov Pass incident? Do you know
No.
about that?
Yeah,
Please.
the radioactive fucking Russian
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. You
Oh,
know,
I don't know. Please tell me.
these people went out and got killed in Russia. They were explorers type people. They were mostly students, but they cut their tents from the inside and ran away in the snow barefoot. This is like Russia. This ain't like Florida.
It's not Coachella.
Yeah, and so they finally found their bodies. All of them are all fucking just destroyed, man. The cause of death was unknown compelling force. There were injuries like equivalent to getting hit by a bus.
Whoa.
They think maybe the people were hit against trees, possibly.
Sure.
And there were some radioactive elements to it. So a lot of people thought, it was extraterrestrials or like people from that mountain. There's supposed to be a base there. But there was a recent documentary about Stalin Stalin had captured a Bigfoot and had used the DNA to create Bigfoots.
Wow.
And that what those people ran into was a Stalin-made Bigfoot.
Holy shit.
And you can
Communist Stalin
you
Bigfoot.
can look all that shit up. There is a huge attempt by most nations to, at one time, capture Bigfoot and make
And weaponize.
and
him.
well, yeah, they already weaponized our peas and corn.
Stalin wants to create an army of Bigfoots.
Yeah, ape men. Yeah, if you look up like Stalin's ape army.
But what
you'd find
Bigfoot
shit.
wants is just a cup of coffee,
He
a
just wants to
cigarette.
hang out. Share his raw meat with you.
I think it's disgusting what Stalin tried to do to Bigfoot.
You feed him borscht.
I don't think I
Whatever the hell, and
like
they
that
just go on a
guy.
rampage. Just go hog wild. Yeah, I mean, to each his own according to the size of his foot. I don't think that works. I like what you said early on in the segment about how we're programmed to seek out things, that are beyond.
That's how we invent. That's how we became inventors and
Yeah.
creatives.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes out of control.
Oh yeah, that's how you end up with,
Yeah.
madmen.
Well, also like the whole need to know like how the universe began and shit like that. It's like the answer to that's probably not really compatible with.
There's no way to know any of that. Who the hell?
But we still have this thing that makes us want to have to know. Yeah.
I think about what you're saying, and I realize immediately that we made all this shit up. Like we made up time and calendars and words and letters, and we made that shit up.
But but we didn't make up Bigfoot.
Well, I mean, that would be part of the natural world. So no.
Okay. I'm starting to sound like a sock for a second.
No, I'm just saying that the natural world, we didn't make that shit up. But according to some people, aliens made that shit up in a simulation. But that's a different episode.
I think if aliens had made up Bigfoot, there'd be more Bigfoots.
Why no clothes? Why don't they make clothes?
Yeah, right.
Like all cavemen, all Neanderthals, everybody made clothes. Why
I
not?
think a Bigfoot would look at you and be like, "What's with all the clothes?
Probably.
Why don't you pop that top? Let's make some coffee."
I'd be like, no, I heard about
Are you
Ozlov.
asleep? Wake up!
I heard about Ozlov, man. I'm not taking my clothes off.
About what?
Ozlov, that guy, the coffee guy, who left out too much of his story.
Yeah.
If Bigfoot wants you to take your clothes off, it's probably,
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is what Bigfoot wants. Yeah.
So why Bigfoot, guys?
Why Bigfoot? We want more creatures. We're bored with the ones we have.
For me, I still think, and I'm sorry that I'm such a stereotypical skeptic, fucking bleh, but I think it was just the original tape of the guy walking in the suit, and they just made that, and like everything else has just blossomed from that.
But Oslov fucked the Bigfoot way before that.
And Teddy Roosevelt. And
Right.
honestly, man, you could go back really far, man. Like there was the people in the Himalayas, the monks that had a skull of a Bigfoot. And they had that shit forever, man. Forever. They had that shit forever.
Were these the same monks that could make it snow?
No.
Okay.
No, but they probably supported that idea.
Yeah. I just wonder if having a Bigfoot skull helps you with things like that. And if we should get one for this algorithm.
We got the foot.
I saw a picture of it. You wouldn't want to drink out of it or anything. It wouldn't be like a cup or anything.
Is that how you judge how good a skull is?
Well, I mean, for the old days, that's what they were for. Drink
That's
it.
what they were for. That's
some
what
Four
skulls
Loko
were
in there.
for back then.
Fuck yeah.
So, Jay, I mean, we have a little more time, but so far it sounds like you remain a Scully.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, the best answer is what Joe said pretty early on. It's just like, it's kind of for me, it's more of a representation of an idiosyncrasy of the human mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I feel like the first thing a sock would do is that he would use a Mulder's argument to confirm why it's not.
Mm-hmm. And use his platform.
I do. I feel like, no offense or nothing, man.
Yeah, so
It's not personal.
I mean, there's like a very simple way to solve this. Show us one of your feet.
And that's got to stay there.
I can do that.
Show us one of your feet.
It's just like I'm they're just below the table.
So
I
you
can't.
so
Can't
you're
you
not,
just
so
put
you're
a
not going
picture
to
of
do it.
his foot?
Yeah, I'll just
Don't
send
you
you a
have
picture
any
of my foot.
pictures?
I'm worried that I'll get hit on the head.
I don't really want to.
I'll take a picture of my foot, and you can just put it here on a.
I would have no way of knowing for sure if that.
Yeah,
was a
how would we
real
know it was
foot.
yours?
That could be Iggy Pop's foot. I forget what it looked like by now.
You have to put this cigarette butt by your foot. All right, if we know.
Scale?
Yeah, well, just so we know it's from today.
And hold the cigarette butt next to this foot just for comparison.
Yeah, that I agree.
No, I mean, you should do that right now, Joe.
Oh.
So you can see that cigarette butt is it's not even as big as that toe. So.
Moving on.
Sure. Moving on. Convenient.
Just like a sock, dude.
Just like a sock. So, Bigfoot's real. Socks are Bigfoot's in disguise. Jay won't show us his foot.
Yeah, either
Moving
way, you're
on.
cool with me because you're still a Bigfoot. You may be a traitor to your own kind, but you're not my kind, I guess. So
Wow. I'm just a podcaster. I'm a metaphile. I'm not a Bigfoot.
that's what a sock would say.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we do have a little bit of work we need to do on the episode. But did you have any more
Blacklisted.
stories that you wanted to tell?
No, I guess not.
Okay. If they occur to you mid-work, we can interrupt the work. Here's what we do at the end of our episodes.
It's not really work.
It's the work. But it's not. It's fun. It's fun.
The tension in the air is getting really thick.
I would show you my feet right now. That's all I'm saying. Here's what we do at the end of each episode. We determine the fate of the topic, which there's a whole spectrum of places that certain topics can end up, ranging from the pine woods of heaven to a mysterious underplace known as the trapdoor, where we only send the most despicable things, such as lawnmowers. And all manner of things in between. So we'll decide the fate. We will decide what is Bigfoot's villain. We will decide what the lesson of this whole episode is, and then we will uncover the twist. Every episode has a twist, so we'll figure out what that is as well. So I'd say we start with the fate, and I think when we get up there to the Pinewood Bowling Alley Lanes of Heaven, there's Bigfoot's walking around up there.
Definitely.
Really?
Drinking
Definitely.
coffee, smoking cigarettes,
Wow.
hanging out. No
Interesting.
longer afraid.
Well, most religions say that animals don't have souls, so they can't go to heaven. But Bigfoot isn't even mentioned in any of those religions, so he can have a soul and go to heaven.
Yeah.
Good.
I haven't read the whole Bible, but I did not think that Bigfoot's in there.
Yeah, no, they do talk about giants that roam the earth, but I don't think they were talking about Bigfoots.
And they don't mention the feet at all, right? So yeah, for me, Bigfoot goes all the way to the top.
Me too.
For me, just purgatory. Parade, purgatory.
Parade Purgatory, where we
Just
Put-
indifferent.
the concept of parades, we realize we don't care about parades one bit, so that's a neutral.
No feelings either way or the other.
Yeah, it's the neutral zone.
Just totally neutral.
I am not a Bigfoot. I have no feelings about Bigfoot one way or the other. I have no opinion about it whatsoever.
I've never even heard of Bigfoot.
What is Bigfoot? You're slipping. You're slipping,
Yeah, they're
sock.
gonna have a talk with you, man.
Slipping
Some
on
people are
your
gonna
sock.
pick you up, dude.
Slipping on your socking, Jay.
If I had a Bigfoot, it'd be going up both y'all's asses.
So he just revealed he thinks his foot could go both our asses at the same time. That'd be a pretty big foot.
Well, I mean, it probably could if it's like that wide.
Mm-hmm.
If we're real close to each other.
Yeah, if you and I were to put that under our butts right now, we could both be sitting on it.
Yeah.
We're not going
Thank
to.
God it wouldn't be
Because
the whole thing.
I paid a lot of money for that in Kuala Lumpur.
Are you saying Kuala Lumpur?
Kuala Lumpur. That's where that's where the the curiosities shop was that
Nice.
I purchased
Nice.
the Bigfoot at.
Yeah.
So, the fate is decided. We don't all have to agree on it, so that's fine. We must determine Bigfoot's ultimate villain, the Joker to his Batman.
That's easy.
What's Bigfoot's villain?
The dog man.
The Dog Man?
Mm-hmm. Supposedly sometimes they work together, but normally they fight each other.
But if they work together...
Well, there's always traitors, man. You know, people with a different vision.
You guys dogmen? Is that what you're saying?
Do what?
You guys dogmen?
No.
No. Woof. No.
He is really protective of his dog, though.
You come
man.
from my family?
Like, he will murder things that harm his dog.
Surprisingly.
So, Dogman to the left and Socks to the right.
Here I am.
Stuck in the middle.
Stuck in the metaphiles.
Stuck in the middle, Willie.
Alright. I mean, they work together sometimes, so I don't love that. But I guess there's probably at least one time that Batman
Yeah,
and
the
Joker
joke.
worked
Yeah,
together.
definitely, man. The killing joke.
No, they were decidedly not. Well, they were.
At-
You're right.
At the end, they were
You're
amicable.
right, but we can't talk about that too much. Jay doesn't like it when we talk about comic books on the show.
What are you, some kind of comic book hater, man?
We shouldn't get into
I'm
it.
not really. It's just that Zach insists on always trying to make me talk about it. I don't really like him, but I don't hate him. But Zach's always like, oh,
It's
and I'm
like-
like, fucking stop talking about fucking
I
comic books.
didn't bring up Alan Moore's seminal killing joke in which Batman has to go and get help solving a crime by visiting the
This
Joker
episode's
in a
going really
fucking
bad for me,
asylum.
alright? I've been accused of being Bigfoot, of sock or whatever. Now, I got 2 comic book people trying to tell me about comic books.
They're like our version of the Greek gods or the,
Or Bigfoot.
the shiny ones. They're just our pretend version of...
I'm fine with that. But Zach always tries to convert me.
I didn't bring it up.
Okay. Anyways.
I didn't bring up how there's this amazing ending at the Killing Joke where
It
the
is.
Joker tells Batman a joke and Batman kind of almost smiles at it, and it's unbelievable.
This is what he does. He kind of almost smiles at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Pretty
what he
much.
does.
You don't see Batman smile.
You never see him smile, and so even that little bit that you just did is like, wow, the Joker got him. They need each other.
All right,
Just
so that's
like
the villain.
just like Bigfoots and Dogmen's.
That's the villain. Dogman's villain. What's next?
We need the lesson of the episode, and we must determine the twist. I think I know what it is.
What's the lesson?
Oh, I mean, I know what the twist is, I think.
Yeah, what's the lesson?
Probably give Bigfoot some coffee if you want him to go away. Right?
And
If you want him to go away.
And it's never the right era to admit that you had sexual relations with Bigfoot.
I think it's the right
For
era
6
right
days
now.
straight. When all you had to do was give him some coffee to get away from him. Maybe the commitment was becoming too much at that point. I apologize to Oslov's family and friends.
They were watching and they were like, I love this podcast. And they were like, fuck you.
We're just saying that Oslov should have been allowed to live Oslov's truth. I think this is actually very
That's
pro-Oslov content.
Holy Lord.
This is a pro Oslov podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like all Oslov stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the lesson.
Cool. Okay. So what's the twist, buddy? You got a good one, apparently. Joe, do you have a twist?
I don't even know what that would mean.
Just like it's an M. Night
It's
Shyamalan
a
movie.
twist is...
Well, then Bigfoot was here to save or kill us all. We just don't know.
The twist is Jay's a Bigfoot in disguise.
That's not
Well, you're a dog man, so I don't know if you can
I'm
really
not
be.
hiding it.
See, that's how they are. They don't hide it. That's why they're enemies,
perfect
probably.
way to hide it.
They're like, no, I want to go to the mall. And they're like, you can't go to the mall. That's against the treaty.
No malls. Don't go to the mall.
Dogman hasn't been to a mall in nigh on 200 years. Generations of us not going to Orange Julius. Generations of us without Sears brand appliances. Generations having not played Die Hard, the arcade game.
What's the twist?
Are there still Sears? They still have
Oh, I
those?
don't
No,
know.
they're gone.
They can't be still.
Right on.
It's
I
probably
saw,
like Kmart. There's probably like a couple in the whole fucking country, right?
Yeah.
I saw something about a J.C. Penney's. I
That's
was like, what?
I think that one's still around.
They were closed for a long time.
Jeff, man, he fucking killed them all.
I had a J.C. Penney card, like a credit card that I could use at Walgreens to buy my medicine.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I don't know how
Yeah.
that, but I definitely did that.
Those were the days, man.
The twist
What is it?
is sadly all the Bigfoots are dead.
What? How did you...
It's not really even a twist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because you mentioned that earlier that
Oh.
you thought, why would they all die off,
Oh.
man? What killed them? When did they die off? That's the first starter question.
The video killed the Bigfoot star. I think the launch of MTV is when they decided to go fully into hiding. They saw that there was more cameras on everything. They just wanted to hang out in the woods, listen to, like, you know, Steppenwolf and stuff. And they were like, oh, all this new wave's coming. Everybody's filming everything. It's this reality television generation. Let's go live deep in the caves underground. And all the Bigfoots are underground in caves now, including the cave that got named after the people who made fake Bigfoots. That's a real cave where real Bigfoots live, because those people were Bigfoots in disguise. So, all the Bigfoots are dead, like I said at the beginning, but the twist is MTV killed them. The network executives at MTV,
That is a fucking twist.
they killed as many as they could, and the rest went into hiding.
You know, I have a legitimate question, okay?
Oh, we'll try. Okay, we can try this.
Oh, we got a legitimate question here
So,
on the podcast.
Let's try it out.
So there's the Pacific Northwest why is it that all Bigfoot research people and just nutbags having all teamed up together and just walked it until they fucking found a Bigfoot?
Uh-huh.
You know, that's the real question. I often ask myself about any cryptid that they ever have, you know.
Search every inch.
Like,
and
you
you can
know,
have, like, infrared stuff
I
as
mean,
well.
shit, dude.
Well-
we can shoot things from space. I mean,
I can tell you why. Think about the Pacific Northwest. We're talking like Portland. We're talking like California. We're talking like Seattle. As soon as they're starting to get this huge thing organized, oh, Fish is on tour. Half of us are gone.
Yeah, I'd love to look for Bigfoot, man, but Fish is playing.
holy shit.
Wow.
I got nothing to dispute that, man.
Yeah.
That's as valid as it gets.
So,
The jury is out.
yeah. And that's it. We did all the work, and it was fun.
Thank you for having me. It was my honor.
Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to plug? We almost never remember to ask our guests that, but this time we did.
Plugs. What do you got?
Go get a metal detector and find some shit.
Great. You won't find Bigfoot unless it's a Bigfoot that is made of metal.
A belt buckle.
Oh, that's true.
You could find
That's true.
a Bigfoot belt buckle.
Yeah. And if you do find it, please write into the show. Let us know what it was on it.
And put a cigarette butt by it so we
Yes.
can verify it.
Definitely. Anything you want to tell us about any belt buckles, be it Jello Biafra's, be it mine that I can't put on, put a cigarette butt next to it.
If you had a belt, would you wear the belt buckle?
By this point, probably not.
There we go.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know that I'm as into rattlesnakes now as I was when I was 8 years old.
Did you recently see Conan when you bought that belt buckle, maybe?
I did not see Conan until much, much later. I was in college when I saw the Conan films. Loved them.
Great film.
Great. Fantastic.
I heard that guy was crazy, though.
Conan?
No, the guy who wrote Conan. I heard he did some terrible things.
Oh. Well,
Not that Conan would say we're terrible.
no, but if there's one thing you could say about Conan, it's that his morals were somewhat uncertain.
Yeah, they were flip-floppity.
I saw him punch a camel once, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's okay.
No.
He's been called a barbarian.
Yeah, a term that I don't think I can really dispute. He was also something of a destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
He destroyed box office expectations for one thing.
Yeah, that remake. I like the remake. I was like, hey, you know what? It's a fun one.
I didn't see it, but
It's okay.
that
Don't
compels
see
me
it.
to check it out. Maybe.
No. You should watch something else.
Okay, I'm gonna watch something else, and I'm gonna give our audience permission to now go and watch something else because this episode is over. So it is time to watch something else. Is that another episode of Metaphiles?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's time to watch another episode of Metaphiles.
Yes.
And
Yes,
we
it is.
and we don't end every episode by saying it's time to watch another episode of Metaphiles. This is the only time we've ever ended an episode by saying that. So
Well,
you're
it's-
very special, and you should do what we said because it's so special.
It's the 89th episode.
Right. It's the 89th one.
Damn
It's
right.
time to tell
Damn right.
people watch one more. Watch one more.
Watch one more episode.
One more. And this is the part of the episode this is part of the sign off. Sorry, Joe. I really wanted to get it right because you're here. You're our guest. This is the part of the sign off that I say, and then we all say that. This is the part of the episode sign off. Fuck.
Take 3. No, you'll be fine. He's messing it up. He does this every week and he can't do it.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. This is part of the sign off that I say.
No, no, it's not part of the pod to sign off. Joe, take us out. No, I'm kidding. You don't know what we say.
Thank God.
This is the part of the sign off that I say.
This is the part of the sign off that I say.
This is the part of the sign off I say.
Hey, look, there's Bigfoot now. He's right over there.
Whoa! I expected taller.
Hello there. It's almost the end of the show, but not quite. I'm Zach Caffrey,
I'm Jason Ford.
and you just watched the episode of Metaphiles that you watched, and now you're seeing this, and it's the part where we say, it's like us, subscribe to us, comment about it,
Get on our shit.
get on it, build a little community with us. You're all a part of it. It's a nice little world we have here.
It's just a big ball of liking and subscribing and comments.
And it's wonderful to do. And you like doing it. You do.
You do.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
And this week, why not make a comment about bye.
Bye-bye.
Metaphiles.